tuned into the show this Saturday. Team Explorers, this is our tool of trade today because we want to explore a very extensive place. And when you have this, dear friends, you're going to get the perfect view of everything. But don't you worry, we capture that for you on this episode of the Hotspot Show here on KTN. Thank you so much for tuning in to this Saturday's episode with me, Yusta Segete. Now, we are surrounded by conspicuous hills, as you can see, and there's a vast water body around me. This is Nakuru National Park. We are at the foot of the Great Rift Valley, and this is going to be our hotspot of the day. Right from the beginning, it's exciting. And when you see the end of it, you have every reason to tune into this show every other Saturday. Now, today I'm not joined alone. I'm joined by friends of nature, friends of adventure. That is Tamara from Karibu, Kenya, and Team Le Perez from Team Le Perez. You know, these are our friends of the day. And with you alongside us, we are truly going to have a really nice escapade. So you know what? I want you to throw you to the national park, not literally, but I want you to enjoy today's hotspot. So without any further ado, Team Explorers, come along, let's enjoy this episode today.
Hello and welcome to Lake Nakuru National Park. My name is Team Le Perez, working alongside Tamara Britton of Karibu, Kenya. This is Karibu, Kenya on tour, taking you to Lake Nakuru National Park. This is a bird watcher's paradise, and also it's a rhino sanctuary, so we have black and white rhino. Welcome and enjoy the drive. One of the preferred habitats for leopards. Leopards prefer stalking their prey, so it's easy to ambush their prey in the bushes like this. Because most predators use the element of surprise, and because of their camouflage, they blend in. The mature male who owns up this harem will always push them off. So once the males turn to about 2.5, 3 years old, they're kicked out of the harem and form what we call bachelor herd. See what he's doing right now? He's herding them away from the bachelors. No. Right now I'm looking for a leopard, maybe a lion, hyenas. It's warming up during the day, and like I said before, elephants are not found around this area. So this is only a place where you find the big five, 4 of the big 5. So we don't have elephants around Lake Nakuru. So it's only rhino, lion, leopard, and buffalo. So of course, the big game to look for right now is buffalo. You can hear African fish eagle calling. So they're very much territorial. So that's a male and a female calling. So sometimes when the leopard is walking or the lion, you will see the tail wagging. So I'm looking for such kind of signs. And if any of the leopard will be up on the tree. So this is also a famous spot where we sometimes see like 2 leopards who are known to be living around this area. Leopards are primarily territorial. So driving across this national park, there are spots where I'll know that there are some leopards that are hanging around that area. So I'm looking for different type of leopards around here.
Hi team, how are you feeling today?
I'm good, thank
I
you.
need you to be, you know, with
Pumped
the energy. Are you okay?
I'm okay.
How has the day been?
The day has been great. We saw a lot of stuff. We've seen some nice impala interaction. We've seen some nice birds. On the lake, we've seen some nice pelican interaction as well, African fish eagle, great cormorants, and lots of other birds. Among others.
Now, I'm particularly interested in where we are standing now. Yeah, it's called Out of Africa. And there's a solid reason as to why this part of the lake, and in Kenya in general, is referred to as Out of Africa. What are the reasons?
So behind me sits Lake Nakuru National Park, and also the lake itself. So this place was part of the movie scene for Out of Africa film by Karen Blixen. So there's a book, Out of Africa. So this part was picked up as one of the scene for the movie.
Amazing.
And that's the name it got from the movie.
Do you actually think this place deserved that huge title?
It really deserves.
Yeah.
So looking back behind me, look at that stunning view. Lake Nakuru, and of course the lake extends all the way. You can see the township,
Yeah.
Nakuru town. So this really tells you that this feels like out of Africa.
Absolutely. Team Explorers, what Team has said and actually what you're seeing on your screen perfectly blends in for why it was called Out of Africa. This is just a part of Lake Nakuru, and earlier on we took you through the park and we saw quite a number of wildlife, and we interacted with quite a number of them. Now, Team, I want to ask, what's the best time when you want to visit this national park?
Any time of the year. This is all year round. You can see wildlife, good game, good birding. So the best time for game drive, actually right now, when the sun is almost setting. So the cooler times of the day is the best time for game drive. So early morning drive through mid-morning, and then late afternoon through 6:30. So those are the perfect time. But also with birding, there's never a time. So any time can be good birding time. So it depends. So it covers different kind of sections. So there's the lake section, there's the savanna, and there's also the forest behind me to my right. So it kind of gives you a combination of a perfect time for gaming. And also, there's a lot of other things to see around Lake Nakuru National Park. We have the white rhino, black rhino.
Perfect.
And apart from that, we have 4 of the big 5. So leopard, lion, rhino, and buffalo.
Amazing. Just taking you back to birding, just a fun fact that I learned about the lake initially, I mean, the national park. Initially, the park was open just for birds. Then after, I guess, 6 years, they expanded it so that they can accommodate the other, diversity. Speaking of which, does this mean that the species in the birds have gone down, or they've increased with time?
It's constant, but then
really?
once in a while we find birds that migrate through here. So we catch up birds that migrate all the way from Europe, Asia.
Wow.
So it's a good place also to come and see migrant birds. For example, from September through to March, we have what we call Eurasian migrants. So these are birds that come all over from the Europe and Asia. So this is being a big place where there's a water body. So it's also a nice, perfect place to come for birding. So we have the great white pelican, and also we have the reed cormorants, the ones that you see up on the tree nesting. Those are the reed cormorants. You can see up on the front they have like a white neck, and the great white pelicans. So some of them, you see them with their open wings. They're kind of drying up, because they dive in the water to feed on the fish. And of course, that's their adaptive behavior. So we normally see them along the shoreline. So we call them the shorebirds sometimes. You see them diving in the water. Very nice to see. You can hear different calls from the pelicans. That's the pelican going on. You can hear the reed cormorants. So we have 2 types of cormorants around here. You can see there's a long-tailed cormorant and the great reed cormorant.
Amazing. And then there's that particular bird that you had mentioned earlier. It breeds in Tana River, in what's it called?
Lake Tana.
Lake Tana. And
then there's a neighboring lake here called Lake Elementaita.
Okay.
So you'll see very big colonies of pelicans there.
Amazing.
Yes.
All right. And we, of course, are standing at the foot of the Great Rift Valley. Along the valleys, there are quite a number of scenic areas and quite scenic places. Maybe you could highlight some of them.
So, of course, geographically, the geographical features is the Great Rift Valley view. Apart from that, there's this lake, so lined up along the Rift Valley. So starting up from the north, we have Lake Turkana, we have Lake Logipi, Lake 92, Lake Olbolosat, Lake Baringo, Lake Bogoria, and now Lake Nakuru. There's Lake Elementaita, Lake Naivasha, and then carrying on to Lake Magadi and Lake Natron. So you've seen a few flamingos around here.
Yeah.
So they also breed in Lake Natron, which is in Tanzania, northern Tanzania. So they will fly again here. So again, we have Lake Bogoria, which is also another perfect spot to see the flamingos.
Wonderful. So the Great Rift Valley is not limited whatsoever. You're quite the adventurer yourself. You've traveled Kenya and beyond. Yeah, a little bit about yourself, because you had the eye to spot everything nice that we ought to spot. So tell us, how does an adventurer like you get to satisfy the day-to-day needs of, being an adventurer, and what do you work with?
I always say game driving is like fishing. So you don't know what you'll see next. So as you drive along, you saw me stopping a lot to check with my binoculars to see what's hiding in the tall grass, what's up on the tree, picking up calls on birds, picking up animal sounds. So it comes in a lot. So other than visiting the national park, there's also other places to visit, the museum and other places which Kenya offers, and East Africa as well.
Thank you so much for joining with us on this rendezvous of exploring Lake Nakuru National Park. Right about now, let's check in with Tamara of Karibu, Kenya, because guys, this is where also adventure lies. Hey there, Team Explorers, welcome back from that short commercial break. And while we were away for those few seconds, you know what, we stepped out and now we are out of Africa, exactly where I am standing. That is what we are going to discuss on this part 2 of the show. And of course, we've saved the best for the last. Stick around, because this last leg is going to be equally interesting. Tamara, how has your day been exploring Lake Nakuru National Park?
I love this park. One of the reasons that I suggested we come here is because it is one of my favorite parks in Kenya. It's really underrated. A lot of people, they talk about the big parks, the famous parks, but this one has the lake in the middle of it, which is so stunning. The views all around the lake are incredible. The bird life on the lake, the glow of pink when you see all the flamingos, the pelicans in their little flotillas, and all the more exotic birds. And you see so many animals here. You see rhino. We've seen rhinos, zebras,
baboons, monkeys, among many other things.
Thompson gazelles, grants, impalas. We've seen buffalo, a lot of buffalo. Yeah, we've really seen a lot. Yet to see the cats,
trees.
But let's see if we can find some on our way out of the park this evening.
I see that, but don't you worry. Just because we didn't catch the cats today, doesn't mean you won't catch the cats when you come here. And of course, everyone you interact with, asking how they liked Lake Nakuru, they always have to say birds, 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 birds. I want to step out of the bird kingdom to you. Is this your perfect place in the lake? Because we found you here viewing the lake and we were like, Tamara, how did you get here first? Is this your perfect spot?
I love this spot. The view from here is absolutely extraordinary. I don't know if you can see behind me that we can see all the way to the lake. But there is also another spot that I really love, which is known as the Causeway, which is a very narrow piece of land which we drove across this morning, where you can see the lake on both sides. We saw hippos there, we saw incredible bird life, and just the views, the reflection on the water, the escarpments on both sides. You can't get more beautiful than that. Absolutely.
And that is, to me, not only us, but other explorers who are here to, see the beauty that comes with the crossways. Any fact that you know about this lake, perhaps, or this national park you could share with our team explorers?
It's one of the smaller national parks in Kenya. It's bordered by two huge escarpments. The lake runs the whole way down the middle of it. There are also plains where you see lots of game. There are forested areas where leopards can be found. And right at the bottom of the park, there is Makalia Falls,
Yeah.
which is a beautiful waterfall. Yeah, it's just, there are so many different habitats all in this one park.
Now that you mentioned the falls, allow me to say that it's a seasonal fall, is it? Such that it only pours down when the rains are here. Like, this is the perfect season to come, and we managed to catch that for you. Tamara, you also run Karibu Kenya, and we have been with you on this journey. Tell us, as an adventurer and someone who wants to seek your services or want to tag along with you, you know, in all the escapades that you go around Kenya, how does someone go about that?
You can see my website, karibukenya.co.uk. You can, on the website, there's all sorts of places all over Kenya. I do spend my whole life driving around Kenya. So I can assure you that everything I've written on my website and in my guidebook, which is also called Karibu Kenya, has been personally researched by me.
Oh, wow.
I know all the places that I've written about, and that's what I think gives my company the edge, because if you contact me, I will have a Zoom call with you. I will talk you through the options. I want to hear from you. Do you prefer a house? Do you prefer self-catering? Do you have children? Maybe you need children's activities. Are you interested in photography? If so, I would book you a guide who is specifically very interested in photography. You know, if you have very specific interests, if you prefer walking, I can book you walking with camels, or walking in the foothills of Mount Kenya, or even climbing Mount Kenya. You know, I would listen to your needs. I think that's the thing. I offer a very personal service, that I listen to exactly what the client wants, what you want, and put together a very personal trip that suits your budget, your preferences, your group dynamics, yeah, everything. And I would design a trip according to my knowledge and what you want to do.
Wonderful. And on a good day, can someone catch you for you to join them on that trip?
They absolutely can if they request it. I work with a very close group of guides, so I would normally choose a guide specific to what you need to do. If you want me to come along, that would be great. My other profession is a yoga instructor. I organise yoga retreats, wellness festivals, including the Kilifi Wellness Festival, which is coming up in February. So I can even come along and offer some yoga sessions along the way. If you've been sitting in the car all day, you might want to stretch out in the evening, or wake up and do dawn meditation and then go out on your game drive, or go out diving with dolphins, or whatever activity I've designed for you on that day.
Sounds so spectacular. And where we are seated, I'm tempted to say, could you do a little bit of yoga, because it looks like yoga perfect. Is it?
It's absolutely perfect.
Oh,
I'm not sure
wonderful.
if I'm going to do it right now, but yes, it's absolutely perfect. We could totally do yoga here. In fact, I have organised a yoga retreat in Nakuru and Lamu. They're starting doing safari in Nakuru and doing yoga at specific spots, and then they're continuing to Lamu and doing a little bit more yoga and some exploration of the history of Lamu. So yes, I can design yoga retreats or festivals to your specific requirements in beautiful places.
How many viewpoints are here, by the way, in Lake Nakuru National Park, speaking of which?
There are three. There are two on this side. On this side of the lake, if we continued along that way, along the lake, we would come to another one. And there's another one on the escarpment, the other side of the lake, just at that top point there, as it's coming down, the very last top point, there's a viewpoint there. So yeah, there are three.
Amazing. And how many entry points are there to this national park? Because we came through the Lanette.
We came through Lanette, and we're actually going to depart through Nduret.
Okay.
So there are actually four, but we're using two of them today.
All right. Amazing. Any parking fee or any picnic fee someone needs to pay when they want to explore Lake Nakuru National Park at large?
Yes, every national park in Kenya has park fees. So you have to go on the e-Citizen website and buy your park fees. Yeah, but park fees are much lower for Kenyans. So we paid much less than the visitors from overseas would pay. Yeah, so as Kenyans, you can get into national parks for much more affordable rates.
All right. And earlier on, you were about to pick trash along the way because someone dumped trash. You're quite the environmentalist. I mean, speak a word to any adventure, because guys, we go to so many places. This is just a bonus on the show. Please do not litter around, is it?
Absolutely.
You back me on that?
I'm very against single-use plastic. I'm very against litter. In fact, we only saw that one piece of litter. As you noticed, I wanted to jump out of the car and pick it up, but there was a buffalo right there, so I wasn't able to do that. But we really haven't seen, apart from that, we haven't seen any litter. This park is very clean. But yes, my company is proudly anti-plastic. We issue drinking flasks to everyone who travels with us, and we also give them little heart-shaped shopping bags, which are reusable, and they're made by single mothers in Mathare slums. So I'm supporting a project there, and I give everyone who travels with Caribou Kenya a flask and a bag, so they don't need single-use plastic. And all our cars have big vats of water in, so you can top up your flask. Nobody needs to buy plastic bottles of water.
I like that. Thank you so much, Tamara. It was wonderful exploring Lake Nakuru National Park with you. For now, Team Explorers, we have to close this show here. Point home, please, whenever you go, do not trash. Another thing, this is the hotspot of the week, the hotspot of choice, and you have every reason, of course, to watch this show today, to follow it up on YouTube, and watch our previous episodes of all the amazing places we have been to. And remember, give us a shout should you want us to come over to your place and explore the beautiful scenery that Kenya has to offer. Thank you so much from me, Eustace Segete, and the entire amazing crew. And of course, the friends of Hotspot Show, the friends of adventure, we want to thank you for tuning in to today's episode. You know what? We see you yet again next Saturday, but different location. Until then, take care and be adventurous.